Step into the realm of the paranormal on Til The Last Drop, a show that blends paranormal stories and events with a themed drink.
All right, so we're going to keep going with this idea of having slightly shorter episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So with this one, we decided to grab a bit of a Japanese urgent legend. No, an urban legend.
It's urgently urban.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is known as Kuchisake Onna.
Or the slit mouth woman.
Yeah. And some stories have already been told about this, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And we're certainly not the first, but there's also enough information that we can have this one a shorter one.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I mean, she's described as a contemporary yokai,
Mm-hmm.
apart from other things. But her description, if do you want to go over the description? Or
Sure. She's a malicious spirit of a woman, and she partially covers her face with a mask or another item like a fan. She carries a pair of scissors or a knife or just a sharp object. And she's most often described as having long, straight black hair, pale skin, and she's considered beautiful.
Mm.
Except for, her scar. But you don't see that at first.
I don't know how I got these scars. Yes.
So, wait, I wonder if the same rules apply for him then.
I never thought about that.
So he's like a Kuchisake Onna.
Maybe. So, well, according to popular legend, she asked potential victims if they think she is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
If they respond with no, she will either kill them with her long medical scissors, as it's described, on the spot, or wait until nightfall and murder them in their sleep.
Oh.
If they say yes, she'll reveal that the corners of her mouth are slit from ear to ear.
That would be really shocking.
No. Well, then she repeats the question. So, of course, if somebody responds with no, she'll kill them.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you say yes, I mean, she'll cut the corners near your mouth in the same way that is like her own.
So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, pretty much. So
there are a few ways that they say you can survive an encounter with the Kuchisake Onna. You can answer her question by describing her appearance as average.
yeah.
So middle of the road, just no, not a yes or a no. You're just, you're all right.
Yeah, you look fine. Yeah, whatever.
Or you can distract her with money or hard candies.
Now, money makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hard candies, I'm a little shocked at that one.
Maybe it's in her mouth, and then she can't ask you more questions that would lead to you incriminating yourself and getting murdered.
Yeah, but the question would have already been asked if, whatever. Maybe not. Maybe not.
So just carry hard candies.
I know.
And anytime somebody approaches you, just shove a candy in their mouth.
You're basically turning into a grandma at this point.
That's not...
Well, you're carrying money or in hard candies. So you're turning yourself into a grandma.
If you're a grandpa, it's Werther's, right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's grandpa candy.
I think so. I have no
Werther's
idea.
Originals.
I know the grandma candy is like those the strawberry candies, the ones that are wrapped up and
that look like a strawberry?
Yeah.
With the goo in the middle?
Yeah.
Because those are awesome.
Yep, those are the grandma candies.
Or that giant clump of
clump?
the ribbon hard candies
Oh,
that
yeah.
have been sitting in the bowl for so long they have all become one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's also whatever. That's not important. I was gonna go into the description of the candy that would be her favorite, I suppose. But I don't know if that really matters because at the same time, how often are people gonna have this candy on them?
Well, I mean, maybe.
Unless you're in Japan. I mean, then it's probably a little bit more common.
Well, what is her favorite candy?
Well, I'm looking for that.
Oh, it's the Beko Ame? I'm sure I'm not saying that right.
I think so.
Yeah, it's made of caramelized sugar. And it actually says, to distract her, you are to throw money or hard candies in her direction. And she will stop to pick them up. Or you can say the word pomade 3 times.
It might be pomade.
Pomade?
I don't know the exact pronunciation.
I don't either. But I've actually heard of the whole distracting spirits by dropping something, numerous things on the ground, like coins or grains of salt.
Yep.
Or toothpicks, because then they have a compulsion to pick it all up and count it.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of goes in line with other things I've heard, I guess.
Well, if it's a Japanese spirit, then there's a good chance that when they're picking them up and trying to count them, they're trying to remember the exact, like, I don't remember the term of it. It's like, because each thing has their own additional, like, counting measurement of it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're trying to remember which one it is.
Which version of the numbers they need to use for the item.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it.
Maybe.
So.
They just get stuck on their own language.
Maybe. I've also heard that you can also kind of get out of the whole conversation if you're, if you say that you're busy and you don't have time to answer questions or so like that.
Yeah. I've heard that you can also say you're running late.
Yeah.
And if you say that, she'll bow and apologize and let you pass.
Yeah.
So
anyway, like, there is a little bit of a legend behind this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, according to the legend, she was once a woman who was mutilated during her life, with her mouth being slit from ear to ear. Some versions of the story says that she was adulterous wife or a mistress of a samurai. She grew lonely because the samurai was always away from home fighting and began having affairs with men around the town. When the samurai heard of this, he was outraged, as you would imagine.
Yeah, I get that.
So, as punishment, her husband sliced the corners of her mouth from ear to ear.
That's I guess that's gonna keep other men from being attracted to her.
Well, I guess. Yeah.
Or maybe they're like, wow, he's got a lot of rage.
Well,
don't really want to be on his bad side.
Yeah. Other versions say that she was mutilated during a medical or dental procedure, or by a woman who was jealous of her beauty. So.
It's always jealous.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, other versions also say that her mouth is filled with numerous sharp teeth. So think of Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Okay, so I'm curious. How do they know her mouth is filled with numerous sharp teeth if, like...
All the better to eat you with.
If you're ever engaging in a conversation with her, if you've gotten to the point where you can see her mouth, you're dead.
Yeah.
So who told that story?
Well, I don't know. I mean, technically, if it's past the point of, like, the second question and you're then throwing the candy, I mean...
Sorry. It's like pocket sand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing Dale from King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Pocket candy.
So, yeah.
It's... it's definitely interesting. Yeah, it's pretty much she wanders around and has her scar covered, and she carries a sharp instrument.
Yeah,
to kill you with.
So something was kind of interesting about this one. I did see something that it says she briefly appeared in the 1984 Ghibli movie Pom Poko, and several Japanese horror movies have been made with her as a story in the premise. For instance, like a 2007 horror film, Carved, the slit-mouthed woman. I mean, that's basically like...
Yeah, that's clearly about this. Yeah.
Yeah. But seeing something about like a Ghibli film in there, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I want to look that up now.
So, but she may just be like a side character or something.
I mean,
briefly.
Ghibli films are all based on lots of different legends and stories from his childhood and things like that. So
maybe he had some candy on hand and he came across her.
And he just threw the candy and got away.
Yeah.
Could be.
So who knows? I mean, Yeah. I mean, there was also a 1996 live action short film directed by, who was this? Teruyoshi Ishii.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. She was also mentioned in The Ring.
She was mentioned in The Ring?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, that's the is that the Japanese version or is that the American version?
It says the 1998 film, but this is the one directed by Hideo Nakata.
Okay.
So I imagine that it's the original.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I don't know. I don't remember who directed the American version. But I think that came out after, like in 2000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, a lot of these different legends and yokai and things like that are show up in films. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that and just general, like for instance, there's another one too. Like, let's look at the Kappa, for instance. That one's made its appearance pretty much everywhere, even to the point where, like, say Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a Golduck or something was considered like almost like a Kappa.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But that's like going back to like Gen 1 descriptions and all that. So I don't remember.
I wonder if there's a Pokemon based off of Kuchisake Onna. I know there's some really dark Pokemon.
Maybe. I mean, there's one of them that's based off of the lady with the mouth in her hair, or like I guess the second mouth on the back of her head. But that's for another time.
Yeah, we'll cover that lady.
Yeah.
In another episode.
Yep.
So I guess really the biggest thing we've learned is if you're out wandering and you come across a beautiful looking woman with a mask and a sharp instrument in her hand.
Yeah.
Maybe go the other way.
Yeah.
Or, decide that you have an appointment that you're running late for. Or just always make sure you have pocket candy.
Yep.
For any time that you may need to distract a vengeful spirit.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it should be a lot easier to tell the difference between these people now. I mean, I can imagine it would have been a lot harder if you were at a fabric store in like 2020. But it should be easier nowadays.
Well, it would have been harder to distinguish this particular woman for a couple years there because we were all masked.
Yeah.
So I guess that's yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the description of this contemporary yokai.
Oh, I would like to wait. I'm sorry. This is important. I came across a Kuchisake Onna conversation diagram.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the first box is, am I pretty? She asks you, am I pretty? And then, the arrows go no and yes. So if you say no, kills you with scissors.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
If you say yes, takes off the mask and asks, how about no?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have your no and your yes. No, cuts you in half.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, slits your mouth so it appears like hers.
I mean, this sounds like any conversation you can have with like
with anybody,
like a woman for the most part.
Hey,
it's always a trap.
Not always.
Not always.
No, you guys just incriminate yourselves.
No.
Mm-hmm. So be careful out there, kids.
Yep.
Don't talk to strangers.
Yep. Or masked women.
Yes.
They're the most dangerous ones.
Or any stranger carrying a sharp implement.
Well, I mean, for the most part, yes.
I feel like that's good advice. Anyways.
Unless they are a chef.
But why are they going to be walking the streets with their chef knife?
I don't know.
Like
I thought it was just holstered on the side.
Chefs have knife holsters?
Why not, right? Makes sense to me.
Does it?
Sure, why not?
I want a knife holster. I can't say that word, but I want it.
So, anyway, I think that's going to be it for this description of this yokai. We'll go into a little bit of a drink as well. However, we're going to keep these a little shorter than normal.
Yeah.
Well, normal for what we've done.
We're going to just do some shots for you.
Yeah. Stay thirsty for the unusual with Til The Last Drop. All right, since we went with more of a Japan-themed creature.
A yokai?
Yokai in this case. This time around, we went with something that was a little more Japan themed for our alcohols. So we have we have two different sakes this time around. The first one I'll go over. It's probably about a 12 ounce or so. It's not measured by ounces, but looks like one of those smaller cans, same shape and whatnot, made of glass. It's got a plastic lid that covers a metal pull tab top to it as well, so it's a wide open top to it as well. I suppose you could use it as like a serving cup or something later on afterwards as well.
Yeah, you can keep the glass bottle, and it's now a cup in your house.
And I imagine that it could work out for that, since there's 3 different images of a chibi-style kimono girl on there too. Of course, with some information from the product itself. So the Junmai sake, vegan-friendly, gluten-free, and of course it says that it's a product of Japan. From the, what is this, the Hakutsuru Sake Brewing Company. So out of Kobe, Japan.
Nice.
So I'll hand this to you so you can take a look at it as well.
Oh, thank you.
And while you're looking at it, there's a bit of the information on the actual contents inside. So it says from the actual description of it from their website itself, says it's a smooth and refreshing from start to finish, light-bodied and slightly dry with light aromas of honey and sugarcane, layered with roasted almond and cashews on the nose, subtle hints of pear, grapefruit, aniseed, and dark chocolate with a short and easy finish.
That is an interesting and a lot of flavors.
Now, of course, the suggested pairings from their side, they're saying it's delicious with ramen, sushi, pesto pasta, roasted chicken, or even ricotta toast. So, and I guess they're not only available as a single, but also as a 5-pack.
Nice.
So
you can have a whole set of glasses.
Yeah.
For your home.
Yeah. Let's see, product specifications. I mean, we already went over that. It's a Junmai. Milling percentage at 78%. The alcohol content's 13.5. It uses a Japanese domestic rice. Let's see, the SMV is +4. Yeast is a proprietary. The size is, it's a 200 milliliter container. So, and of course, there's serving temp. They say chilled, room temperature, or warm.
So any.
Yeah.
Do you want me to open this?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Can't drink it any other way, I guess.
I mean, it's a lot more difficult. Ooh. Didn't want to spill it. Here's the lid.
Okay. We cannot keep this lid afterwards, obviously.
It doesn't smell like any of the things it said it would smell like.
It probably smells like sake.
Yes.
And it probably tastes like sake, too.
You want to try it first?
Oh, I thought you tried it. I thought this was a sound of trying
that was me smelling it.
Oh, okay. It smells like sakes that I'm used to.
Yeah, see, you have more experience with sake.
I mean, it fits the description of what it's described as.
Sake?
Yeah. Exactly.
Weird how that happens. Do you taste all the notes?
I get some of the honey at the first. A little bit of that. Not so much on the grapefruit, but I can get a little bit of that dark chocolate at the end, too. So,
honey and dark chocolate. It just smells like alcohol.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a little bit of the taste of the honey rather than the scent of it.
Oh, this one's not bad.
You
know. I think I get the, didn't it say pear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Subtle hints of pear, grapefruit, aniseed, and dark chocolate. Because
that one wine that I like.
Oh, yeah.
Has pear, and it has that, like, I don't know the technical term, but, like, I taste a similar taste.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that one. Mm-hmm. Set that aside for now.
Yeah.
Put the lid on it. Which is nice, is that little plastic lid. I mean, it's not going to seal it if it tips over. Or if I, like, slightly shake it, it kind of dripped a little.
It was like what you just did.
Well, I wanted to see just to be sure. But it will.
You can spill it.
It will keep unwelcome guests.
Like bugs out.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say unwelcome guests from getting into your sake.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
I don't want no bugs in my sake.
Yeah. So all in all, that one isn't too bad.
No, I like that.
And it was relatively easy to find too. I think we went to like a local,
Wall to wall wine.
yeah, a local place, and we got
Both of these there.
yeah, our second one. But this one was just sitting on the shelf. I think it was over in like either a section they had devoted specifically for sakes and other imports like that.
Yeah, they had a bunch of different kinds of little sakes,
So
which was cool. We picked the cute one.
yeah, well, it was pretty good. So
Yeah. Well, it also, we talked about the yokai, and it was a female.
yeah,
So the little design on the bottle fits.
Yep.
So what's
All
that
right.
next one that we have?
the next one, I'm looking for the information of it because it wasn't as easy to find initially as far as like our, I don't know, like where it came from. Because I was finding a lot of places that sell it. So it's like, well, I don't really have the information as much from like the supplier, but I can get it from like their resellers.
Right.
So this one is let's see, it's called Demon Slayer. So in reference to like popular animes that are around now. But let's see. It says it's a Onikoroshi sake. So Onikoroshi is Demon Slayer, which means it is very dry. Medium-bodied sake with tantalizing fruit flavors and a pleasant nuttiness on a mid-palate. Hints of mineral on the very dry finish. Yeah. Best served chilled and is wonderful with all types of meat.
Ooh,
So there's a little bit of information on the brewer too. It's Obata Soju or Sujo has been hand making boutique premium sake since the founding in 1892. Pure, soft groundwater and world famous sake rice. The Kora is still owned and managed by the Obata family. The Toji is the acclaimed Kenya Kodo. The brewery has received multiple gold medals and at the National New Sake Competition and the International Wine Challenge. Let's see, the brewery has been featured in Wine and Spirits, the Los Angeles Times, Wine Enthusiast, and Wine Spectator. So
nice.
they have a little bit of a rapport on them too. So it seems like they probably have something pretty good.
I say they seem to have a good handle on what they're doing.
Yeah. And I did chill this one just a little bit. I'll go ahead and open it here. Yeah, that wonderful cracking sound of it.
It's not quite as aesthetic to the ears as like the cork.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is also a smaller size too.
I know. I'm kidding.
I guess I'll try this one first since I'm already holding it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a nutty aroma. I mean, I'm getting like roasted nut and chocolate-esque
Really?
scent from it.
It's not going to taste like that, though.
I don't know if you'd like it as much.
I-
This is definitely drier.
Yeah, I'm not huge on
It's not bad.
dry liquids.
Yeah, the dry liquids.
It's a neat bottle, though.
It reminds me of like extra dry gin. I was like, okay. Yeah, the bottle's not bad. It definitely like it looks the part of, say, one of those bottles of sake that you'd put up on a shelf and people would be like, oh, it's so exotic. Demon Slayer, you say?
All right, here goes. Nope, don't like that. Oh, nope.
I don't know. I like it. It's not too bad.
It's not horrible. I've definitely tasted worse things, but I would not seek that out.
Yeah.
I'll go for the cute chibi girl one. I'll go with that one.
Well, their marketing would suggest that you could probably be the targeted audience.
For the chibi girl one?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Which I get that, and they win. I'm a fan. So
Yeah. But yeah, I could see with the taste of the Demon Slayer that it would end up going with all types of meat like that too. Preferably, I would actually think that red meats would probably be most beneficial with it.
I was just thinking of like roast.
Yeah. Like various parts of demons. So, things like that. But yeah, definitely roasts beef, possibly pork.
I just imagine
lamb.
a big chunk of meat.
Yeah. Sea Emperor, stuff like that,
Yep, yep.
So, all in all, I think these are pretty good.
Yeah.
So, if you're up for looking at a decent sake. And, of course, these were not too bad. The, what was it? That Chikasake, or Chikasake, 200 milliliters. I think we got it at like, what, $15 or something?
Yeah, it wasn't too expensive for either of them. And
yeah, I think they were both about the same. And I mean, it's definitely something to try. And obviously, you don't have to like put in a lot for a decent bottle of one of these sakes as
and
well.
they're small bottles too. So if you get one and you don't care for it, you don't have like this huge bottle of alcohol that you either have to suffer through, or dump out.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't dump it out either. You suffer through it.
Depends on how much it costs.
Yeah. Oh, I just got this $300 bottle of scotch, but I just don't think I like scotch. It's like, oh, well, then.
Maybe you shouldn't spend $300 on something.
Yeah.
You don't know if you like it.
Like you turn 21, your first bottle of alcohol, and you want like a $500 bottle of boutique alcohol. You're like, you're getting Tito's.
Yeah. No, I saw a post not that long ago where somebody said their like cousin turned 21. And they were like, oh, I'll buy you a bottle of alcohol, And the cousin sent a link to some, like, super rare, like, $500 bottle of booze. And he's like, nope.
Yeah. That's a bit much. I mean, it's one thing if you want to, like, try it, but you can't be so, like, full of yourself that you should just say, like, oh, yeah, give me this $500 bottle of alcohol.
I wouldn't even ask you to buy me a $500 bottle of alcohol, and we're married.
I wouldn't even purchase one of those for myself most of the time.
Saying, like, I can't imagine asking other people.
Well, we were somewhere, and I'm trying to remember where it was not too long ago.
We were somewhere.
It was like one of the restaurants we went to recently, and I was looking at like their wine and spirits section on their menu and all that, and they had like your average stuff, and then they had like one of the wines that were listed, and I think they actually listed it as $200 a glass. So I was just like, yeah, no,
that's too much.
I think I'll pass.
I'm not gonna say the things that glass of wine should do for me if I spend that much for it.
Well, it could be good, but then considering that like they kind of like had an error on your entree, it kind of it was
that place.
Yeah, it was that place.
Hey, at least they made it right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So other than that, I mean, the rest of the food was good. But,
yeah, they're always good. That's the first time we've ever had a problem there.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that might end up doing it for now.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like this wasn't so ridiculous in the flavor wise when tasting this that it split my mouth open or anything like that, and made me resemble.
I'm upset about that. I was really hoping.
That's okay. I'm not going to turn into a snake anytime soon.
I wanted to be a yokai.
All right. Well, I think that'll be it for now.
Yeah.
So, and yes, we have somewhat cut down the time on these. So, but yeah, other than that, we might try to continue with that shorter format. I don't know. Looking in more and more, it seems like we're going to be stuck around the same general time frame, though. So, and again, I do apologize for the amount of time that it's taken between the episodes. We had a couple of unforeseen instances that have come up. It kind of just delays production and kind of stops us from doing what we would.
Finds a way of getting in the way.
Yep. Up next is going to be the Jeff Goldblum episode, where you can either be shirtless Jeff Goldblum or fly Jeff Goldblum.
Ooh, that's a tough choice. I mean, really.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're into. No. But other than that, if you want to take a listen to us, we're on iHeartRadio. I believe we're still on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, like Amazon, Google. You can find us pretty easy. Of course, if you wanted to listen direct, we're also on TilTheLastDrop.com. You can listen to right from there. Leave a comment if you want. Oddly enough, we have a shop available as well.
We have merch.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Shirts, and I think you can get the logo on a mug and all that stuff too, which is kind of cool. Which, who knows, we might end up dabbling a little more in some different art designs and all that as well in the future. So keep an eye out, and maybe we'll have something interesting that might be worth something. So.
That you might want.
Yeah.
You might just need it for your home.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for sticking with us until the last drop.
Thank you for listening Till the Last Drop. For more paranormal experiences served up with a themed drink, check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.